and I'm here, I'm going for the legit choke. But if for some reason I don't like him and I'm not worried about the choke itself, so I take my hand and I swing it from here to the top of his head and then lock up. And then through here, I pull his neck up. So it's literally going over his own arm. How would you describe that, Dave?
A crank.
So again, just in through here, but the pressure now is literally just picking up his head and putting it, his arm is already here. So any pry bar I put up against it, okay? So when I swing in, I'll try to get my hand under. For whatever reason, it's not happening. So come in like you're gonna grab his head and then pull his head up against his own arm. Then we can drive in and then get. So try the neck crank a couple times. So when I go into my seatbelt and I'm holding on to him, so depending on which way they start trying to, I would like to fall to the choke side to start my attack, okay? Now, in a lot of instances, as soon as I fall to this side, sometimes what they'll start trying to do is they'll still start to slide their back to the ground, okay? And they'll start trying to make his escape. So what I'm gonna ultimately do through here is, when we look at the hierarchy of the position, so I'm in my seatbelt, but which hand is he gonna control to make sure that he doesn't get choked? The one on top, okay? Very few people pay attention to the one on bottom, because 99 times out of 100, that top arm is the one that's gonna be knifed for you, okay? So the bottom one tends to get forgotten or overlooked. And if I pull my hand away from his throat, that's actually, he's trying to get me away from his throat. So in most instances, he's gonna help me make that motion. He's not gonna hinder me in that motion. So when I'm here, he's putting almost all of his effort into that top hand. So when I begin to fall and he begins to make his move, so through here, keep going, I'm going to shoot my bottom hand deeper in, okay? And then I'm going to hook around his neck and give him a nice little hug. He's still playing with the top hand, okay? And this also, for me, is one of the reasons why I started liking the lay down next to them variation, okay? So I'm here, he's turning in to get away, I shoot my arm in and then hold his neck. So this starts to slow him down, but now even through here, if he wants to start trying to continue to turn into me, he has to start to let go through here. So now I make my switch and go into my head arm. And with my sideways version of the head arm, I'm not concerned about the disconnect, because in a lot of instances, he doesn't want me to disconnect. They become a little bit more concerned about me gaining freedom, because one, he doesn't want me to mount him. So if he can lock me up in half guard, that tends to be common, okay? So that, again, through there, he wants to prevent me from being able to get into a full mount. So as I'm in, I take him down, he starts to slide, I'm shooting in, he's still worried about this one. Through here, I can start to feed my head. I'm gonna pull my hand out. And then here's my S grip, my hand's already in play. I don't care that my leg is caught in half guard. That's actually my preferred choking position. And then I lay down and I set my squeeze. In a lot of instances, you'll see a lot of people, they'll get caught in the half guard going for the head-on triangle. They'll panic thinking that they have to remove themselves from half guard to make the choke actually work. It's not the case. Get in position, start choking the living crap out of him, and he will start to let go. Because in order for him to start to make his defensive motions, it's going to be hard for him to do it while still holding on to my leg. So if I can start putting my choke in play, let him scramble, and when he opens up, you can backstep if you feel like you need to. But again, with my sideways variation, I find I don't need to make the back step. Okay? But the hardest part is making the transition. Okay? Don't try to do both hands at the same time. I'm in, he goes to the side, shoot, cup. Already start to lock it up. Then I can actually climb on top. Then I can pull my hand and go into my choke. I don't have to try to connect it.
So if they're faster than you, that's what's
Everybody's
slowing.
faster than you.
That's what's slowing them down. Is that?
Yes.
Rapid. Okay.
Because again, he's worried about the choking hand. So when I shoot the other one through and come in, and I'm just cupping his neck, so I can hold him to me. And then through here, it's very difficult for him to make his escape and still hold on to my choking hand at the same time. He wants to turn in, but he's trying to hold on to this hand. They're in conflict with each other. So be ready. When he lets go, I go in and start to actually lock up. Now also notice though, when I hit my opportunity, as soon as I got my hand free, I pushed in to get into a 3/4 mount in the position. I didn't just wait to sit off on the side. That's where a lot of people also lose it. Because at least guaranteed I'm gonna end up with 3/4 mount rather than sitting on my side. So again, I'm in, take him down, he starts to escape. I shoot my arm through and cuff. Again, he has to kind of pick and choose what he's doing from here. He can't turn into me and still really control my arm. So when that starts to happen, right here, you see how I'm going into my 3/4 mount, and I'm not even worried about my grip. Now I can lock up and go into my side choke. I've got him in position, and I'm going for my gift wrap. Okay, coming in through here, I'm trying to push him up onto his side, okay, but he's resisting, and he's not really being a good training partner the way he should. But when we have the bow tie, okay, which is the hand underneath and locked on here, if I sink, put my arm in, now I'm directly into my side choke. So when I'm in, use this one to open the door. My head, gift wrap, my head is here. Arm triangle, my head is here. Other than that, shoot that one in. There's my connection. There's my S. Sink. I go for the same choke. Because gift wrap and arm triangle are two halves of the same coin. So if you have an arm triangle, okay, if I just change my direction, I have gift wrap. And if I have gift wrap and I change my direction, I have arm triangle. So when one starts to fail, you can just switch your pressure wave, the way you're playing the pressure. So like, if I was here and I'm coming in and I'm going for my arm triangle this way, but Matt's turning really heavy and I'm having difficulty here, I'm gonna go in nice and deep. If for some reason it looks like he's going the opposite way, there's my gift wrap. The only difference is which hand is under the head and which side is our body on. If I go here, gift wrap. If I go here, it's head arm. So I mean, realistically speaking, you can interchange the two and go back and forth. The biggest issue through the whole thing is just keeping your pressure on the backside of the elbow. But I can literally look at it and go, wow, I was really struggling on my head-on triangle. Okay, so let's pick his head up, feed the other hand in, shift my head to the other side, now you're in gift wrap. And then gift wrap opens up a whole another set of opportunities. Or you go, I'm in gift wrap, man, this dude is really fighting to get himself back down to the ground. So pick him up, put the other hand through, and switch out to the opposite side, and then you have your head-on triangle. Okay? So let's go. Control. We've been working on some head and arm, things of that nature. So the old classic. So I'm inside control, controlling him from here. His frame is usually pushing up into my face. So I take my hand, slide it up to the inside of his elbow. Okay, instead of pushing it here, push it to the outside, and then slip your elbow to connect to his hip. So now at this point, he can push down as hard as he wants. Okay? His elbow's not going back to his side, unless he breaks my arm. Okay? Because my elbow's literally connected to his hip bone. So at this point, he pushes in. Okay? Somehow my forearm either has to slip or my elbow has to come off his hip. So he can push, push, push. Oh, no, Dave, that's not good for you. Okay? So what ends up happening is when I go in and I make this little shelf on his hip, is he has to find other directions to try to get rid of this connection. And so ultimately speaking, when somebody's really trying to power it in, to be able to move it up or down becomes a lot easier. But in most cases, he'll start to try to move it for me to get it out of position. If he takes it to the floor, then we just manipulate it and we start to go here. If he starts to try to take it to lift his elbow up, we don't let him back. Okay? When he goes up, we block, sink your head in place, and lock up. Now normally on the head-arm triangle, I don't push towards the face, but to hold him, if I just grab here, he's gonna put his arm over my head. Look, and it's an easy escape, okay? So as soon as I'm in, I'm going to crowd, okay? Then I'm gonna go knee on his hip, slide in, through here, push, and then accept your mount. Now normally he's gonna be trying to get his elbow free. Again, we're gonna keep our body in play. When we're ready, okay, I'm going to slide down to get my shoulder under his chin. Again, I like S grips through here because that gives me the ability to swing. Okay, I straighten out through here, barrel my chest into his shoulder, and set my squeeze. So one more time. I'm in, take his elbow, shelve it on his hip, let him squirm. Wow, he just threw himself. Did you see it? Threw himself right into it.
Helping you out.
Okay. Crowd it, lock. Through here, I'm gonna drive forward, pressing his face with my shoulder so that I can then put my knee onto his hip. Now we can start to climb. Notice I'm still keeping my foot on one side, my knee on the other. Stretch him out to make your connection. Okay. Now I'm going to sink to readjust. Again, I like my S. Fall off to the side, just relax, and then barrel your chest in and squeeze for the tap. So once I open that door, as I'm here, shelve the elbow. Again, he can push. And I own this gap now. He doesn't get it back. Go ahead, Dave. No, don't go away. It's too easy, Dave. It's too easy. You don't get that gap anymore. You don't get that gap anymore, Dave. So once I own the gap, again, he can push in. His only option is to go away. Okay? Away is not going to save him. Away is just going to open up more opportunity. But he can push into me trying to get the elbow back to his side. But like I said, it's not going to happen. At this point, the wedge is already in play. So I'm going to release, shove my arm inside, and then through here, throw two elbows. One elbow to his hip, one elbow to his head. Okay, don't reach. Throw two elbows, lean on his arm right here. Okay, this hand, as I start to go around his head, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Get it in as deep as you can underneath his neck. That wiggle does allow it to get in a little bit deeper. Palm to palm, rev the motor, pinch on top of the shoulder, and then sink your chest into the choke. So as we're in, sink your chest. Don't go down. Rev the motor, pinch into the top of the shoulder, and then just sink your chest from here. So hold the gap open. Put your arm inside, throw two elbows around the head, wiggle, 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 okay, and then lock your gables to get your squeeze. So I'm in, set my wedge. Again, he's resisting, no, no, no. Inside, throw your elbows, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Lock your hands, rev the motor, and then sink, sink, sink. It's not about the second hand, is just the power adder. Through here, little pinch on the shoulder, and then sink your chest to your hand.